Hi guys, it's Tracy in Australia and I have two more mini keepsakes to share today. And just before I flip through them, I want to say a huge thank you to all the people who have left such supportive and kind comments on the various Facebook groups that I belong to and also on my YouTube channel. It's really appreciated. So thank you very much. Also, thank you to the people that have purchased my journals because that really means a lot to me. They're like my little children when they go off in a parcel. So thank you to those people as well. So today's journals are one called Fox and one called Rabbit. Now, if you've been following my mini journal saga, you'll know that I've already made a Fox journal, and this one came about because I actually made two covers when I was doing my design team project, which the previous Fox journal was, and this is the second cover that I had. So it uses the same fabric, this gorgeous mustardy fabric, which goes so well with the colors of the fox and also with the sari silk that I use as the binding. And I also used the same like coffee or dark colored lace on it. And this little image is from Calico Collage, and it's a gorgeous fox, and he's got all these autumn flowers and pumpkins around him. So around that I've used muslin, tea-dyed muslin, and also a thick sort of jute that I had laying around just to frame that circle, and a little bit of the faux florist's moss. And then there are also these velvet leaves that are poking out at the top and the bottom. And of course I've sewn around the page, and also all of the pages have been torn and inked with Tim Holtz walnut stain to give it that distressed and vintage look. It measures 4 by 6 like the previous ones, and there are 4 pages. Okay, so inside our first page is a paper from Calico Collage, and it's got this little fox poking out, and either side of that I've used some brown lace and these little die cuts of ivy. And there's a little quote from a Ted Hughes poem here, which is very evocative of the face of a little fox, and I thought it really suited the little fox poking out here. So the poem goes: cold, delicately as the dark snow, a fox's nose touches twig, leaf. And apparently Ted Hughes felt that foxes were a real spirit guide for him, so I thought that was very interesting. I've also made a little pocket here and put like a little fox affirmation in there, and that's a little variation from the previous ones which haven't had pockets. But yeah, I just thought it would be a nice thing if you're giving it to someone to have a little space where you could write something personal and put it into the journal. So this page has the fabric, and onto that I've sewn a pocket. I've got this dark lace and a paper, mulberry paper flower down here, a little bit of tea-dyed muslin underneath that, and the little flash card which says Fox in French goes into that pocket. There's also a little pocket here, and I will put something in that if I sell this journal. A little surprise. I like them to go with a few little bits and pieces that haven't been seen in the flip through, so that you do get a little surprise. So this one here, I've used the fox as a little tuck spot, and the little envelope goes into that, and a tiny bit of paper that I've stamped this cute little fox onto. So if you were giving this as a gift, you could do a little bit of writing in that. So again, the darker lace and the die cuts of the ivy go there. This is a little quote from The Little Prince. And The Little Prince is a gorgeous little book, and one of the main characters in it is a fox that the prince befriends. So that's why I've included it in this journal. So this page here from Calico Collage, and I've done a little bit of fussy cutting and layering to make a little pocket and put the words trickster and mischief up here. So here's a little definition card that I've created on my computer, and it just has what fox is, like a noun, and a few little sayings. This is The Gentleman Fox from Beatrix Potter, because of course foxes appear in lots of literature, especially for children and folk tales and things like that. They're usually like a mischievous or you know, sometimes cunning and sly sort of character. Little pocket, this one is from Calico Collage, and that little card goes in there. So that's really reduced in size. Some of that brown lace down there, and you can see that I've sewn around all that. Everything's inked. I really like how this page came out. This is a vintage image of a fox, and I've laid that onto the fabric. Then behind the image is some tea-dyed muslin. I've used the green foliage die cuts again and put some other words about foxes around it. So adaptable, independent, and clever. And on this page, I've got this gorgeous photo of this little girl with a fox on her knees. And again, I've used the brown and the die cut. And there's another little quote from the little prints there. On the back, the fabric that I used for the journal, and this gorgeous little saying, some things just fill your heart without trying. And I had this image of the fox left over, so I've used that there as well and think that looks really cute. All right, so that's my fox journal. And my next one is called Rabbit. I did think about putting the word rabbit in French, but decided against it. So this one has the blue sari silk, and this gorgeous vintage blue floral fabric is used throughout. So this was from my quilting stash, and I really loved how vintage and grungy that kind of was. On the front, I've got a vintage Easter image layered onto some tea-dyed muslin, a little bit of lace up here, a little bit of off-cut doily there, and then 3 vintage buttons. Oh, a little bit of cotton lace there as well. So inside, my first image, this is from Peter Rabbit, and it is of course Peter Rabbit with his beautiful little blue jacket. That's why I'm using the blue buttons. And that's laid onto an Artie Mays page. And there's a bulb pin here with a little, the head of a bunny there. And up here, a little quote from Peter Rabbit, and it says, "Even the smallest one can change the world." And then I had this little image that was on the Peter Rabbit page as well, and a little bunny, so I thought that went in there really well. So in this little pocket was one of the Peter Rabbit images that I didn't use. That's Peter Rabbit's siblings, and they're being good rabbits and picking blueberries. So inside, just a little bit of paper, and that just goes in behind the first page there. I just leave it poking out so that people can see that there is something behind there. So here I've got a bit of an old doily and some more bits of netting. On this page, beautiful image of a little girl with a rabbit. And that's layered onto the fabric. Behind that, the photo is some tea-dyed muslin, a little quote from the Velveteen Rabbit here, and it says, "A beautiful thing is never perfect." And just some bits of lace, a little bit of netting, and a beautiful vintage blue button. There's also a little pocket behind this one, and into that I've popped another image. This one's bunny illustrations. I think that one's from the Graphics Fairy. Again, it was something that I thought about using in the book, but because there's only really 8 pages, there's only a limited number of things that you can do. So again, this is an Artie Mays page. The rabbit that I've used to make the pocket is from Calico Collage, and I've just used laces and again muslin and a little blue button. So this is a vintage rabbit plate that I've shrunk down. I think that's actually in the Calico Collage kit. And this one, I've used paper from the Artie Maze to make a little envelope, and into that goes a little quote, and it says, "Everything that is real was imagined first," and that's from the Velveteen Rabbit, which, if you've never read, is just a beautiful little children's picture book. On this page over here, I've used another Artie Maze page, done some layering down the bottom. There's lace, sari silk, a button, some creepy cloth, and again a little envelope, and into that is a little tag, and it says rest and relaxation. So that was a perfect size for the little envelope, and I thought that was really cute. So vintage image, which I've half sewed around so that this little quote, which is from a poem by Oscar Wilde and describes a rabbit, could pop in there. On this page, I've again used the fabric, used a quote from the beautiful novel Watership Down, and this is one of the characters in the novel because they're all rabbits, and this is from Holly. And and then into the little pocket, I've just popped 2 vintage images of rabbits. So there's lace here, this is scrunched up sari silk, and I've sewed that together with a button. Down here, more collaging with the lace. Really like how that turned out. So this is my final page, and I had this really cute quote from Thumper, and it says, "If you're scared, just be scarier than whatever is scaring you." Very good advice from Thumper. And this, of course, is an image from Peter Rabbit, and he's been trying to hide from Farmer McGregor, and he dives into a watering can. So I kind of thought that looked, that they went together really well. So down here, vintage lace, the netting, some blue buttons, more lace up the top, all layered onto the paper, and you can see I've sewn around the image. So on the back is the fabric that I've used, which you can see really well now, and the little quote, "Some things just fill your heart without trying." Okay, so that is my rabbit journal. So we've got fox and we've got rabbit. Thank you for watching, and hopefully back to share something again soon.